Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. I want to talk a little bit about Bethesda and their migration over to Steam. We got an update on that, some legacy Bethesda titles also coming over to PC and Steam, obviously available on PC already, but they will be coming to Steam. You guys get the idea. And also, Battlefield 2042, a little bit in the news as it has hit a new threshold. I don't know, you can't really call it like a benchmark. I mean, a benchmark for low player count, I guess. But the Steam player base has fallen under 1,000 players, which is a pretty staggeringly low number. Sometimes you have to, like, kind of sweep stuff like that under the rug, and, like, it's not that important, especially when you look at a game right, like, a month after launch. But in this case, 1,000 players, sub 1,000 players, that's a pretty big deal. We'll talk about that at the end of this video. Before we get into the video, here's a word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by VIPSCDKey.com, where you can get Windows 10 Pro OEM very cheap, but you can also use the promo code COM, that's COM, for an additional 25% off discount. And all you'll have to do is insert your Windows key, you can activate it, and then you'll have a fully functional Windows operating machine. If you want Office 2019, you'll be able to use the promo code and also get a 25% off discount. Check out the link in the description box below. But again, Bethesda's transition over to Steam is happening. Like, they are stopping the Bethesda.net launcher and they're migrating over to Steam. Their games will be available to Steam and they won't have exclusive releases on Bethesda launcher. Obviously, Bethesda's been acquired by Microsoft. You guys probably are aware of that, but yeah, it's going to make everything a little bit more accessible, it being on Steam, Xbox Game Pass. You guys get the idea. But obviously, there are a couple of games that are on the Bethesda launcher, but they are not available on Steam. However, this was clarified over on Bethesda's website. They noted in a Q&A, what if a game I own on the Bethesda launcher is not available on Steam? Answer, with the sunsetting of the Bethesda.net launcher, we will be making several of our titles available on Steam that were previously unavailable. This includes The Elder Scrolls Arena, The Elder Scrolls Daggerfall, Creation Kit for Fallout 4 and Skyrim Special Edition, and Wolfenstein Enemy Territory. The Fallout 76 public test server is currently available on Steam as well. So that transition will be happening, and it has been delayed a little bit. I believe the full transition and the migration from Bethesda to Steam was supposed to happen by now. It actually was supposed to happen earlier this month, but it was noted what will happen to the Bethesda launcher. You will continue to have the access to the Bethesda launcher and access your games until May. Starting in May, you will no longer be able to play and access your games within the Bethesda launcher. Will I still need a Bethesda account if I no longer use the launcher after transferring to Steam? Yes, many of our games and services still rely on you to have a Bethesda.net account. This will allow you to retain access to the Bethesda.net services, including game mods, in-game items like skins, and access to exclusive news and updates. A couple of other updates are available in the Q&A. I'll leave a link in the description box below. It seems like the majority of the news was centered around the fact that some of these titles will be headed on over to Steam. Some of these older titles, but yeah, obviously these games are also going to be available on Xbox Game Pass, hopefully sometime in the near future. Games like Deathloop were interesting because while that was a Bethesda-published title, that was a game that had an agreement with PlayStation, so it was a timed exclusive on PlayStation, so things like that do murky the waters a little bit as far as the transition to Xbox Game Pass and the acquisition by Microsoft, but these things kind of go hand in hand, so expect all of that to be updated within the next month or so. And then, of course, you have a game like Ghostwire Tokyo, also published by Bethesda, but that's going to take a while for it to go to Steam as well. Or, excuse me, not on Steam. It's already available on Steam, but Xbox Game Pass, because, once again, timed exclusivity agreement with PlayStation. Alright, moving on from that, a lot of talk surrounding Battlefield 2042 Steam player base as it has fell below 1,000 players for the first time. Now, we see this a lot whenever games' player bases rocket down from their initial launch period. Like, day one, it'll have X number of players, and then a month later, maybe it'll have 30%, 40%, 50%. A lot of that, yes, it's very, like, capturing headlines. Oh, look at this, a game is dying, whatever the case may be. But, a lot of the times, that's just naturally going to happen with the majority of titles. It's very hard to sustain your peak that's going to happen on day one, day two, after a major expansion, etc., etc. But in this case, we're talking, what, 5 months, 4.5 months after the release of the game itself. Battlefield 2042, which was released in November of 2021, had an average concurrent player count of 1,963 over the past 30 days, according to Steam charts. Now, this is significantly lower than its predecessor, 2018's Battlefield 5, which already had a mixed reception. That had an average concurrent player count of 11,585 during the same period. Now, it's not like Battlefield 2042 was the only game that fell off in player base. In November of 2021, of course, Halo Infinite also released, and that has fallen to an average of 5,767 concurrent players over the last 30 days. Halo Infinite, feel like that game is just drastically lacking content, because I loved Halo Infinite. For like the first month and a half, I sunk in so many hours to Halo Infinite, but yeah, there's just not enough content to that game. Battlefield 2042 is a different case, because Battlefield 2042 just seems to be a game that a lot of people are not very happy with. Now, EA is acknowledging the disappointment of the game. In February, though, they did also note some of the struggles to the surprise early launch of Halo Infinite. You know, in that case, Halo Infinite was a free-to-play title, so comparing it directly with Battlefield 2042 isn't completely fair, because this is a $60 game. And I feel like Battlefield 2042 did have a healthy level of buzz heading into its release, so I feel like it's more so a statement of what the game is itself. At this point, there's not really a first-person shooter that I'm super invested into. Like last year, the big releases in the fall as far as FPSs go, Battlefield 2042, Halo Infinite, and you can throw Call of Duty Vanguard in there as well. All three of those have really kind of fallen off. Now, Halo Infinite, I had a fantastic time with for the time that I did play. Call of Duty Vanguard, it is Call of Duty, but the thing with Call of Duty is, like, I think this year Call of Duty is going to completely bounce back, and it's going to be a huge game as well. And Vanguard still seemingly did, you know, well enough for it to be a financially very successful game, but I do foresee that this year they're going to bounce back pretty hard. Battlefield, I just don't know. It's going to take a gargantuan undertaking at this point to, I think, bring Battlefield back to the limelight, because that's 2042, that's Battlefield 5 that, generally speaking, had pretty negative receptions from the core player base. So it'll be interesting to see where Battlefield goes for a couple of years from now. As far as Halo goes, man, I want Halo Infinite to make a comeback, but it just seems like, you know, piecemealing that game out, and I love the Halo Infinite campaign. No cooperative play for that really sucked. Halo Infinite's multiplayer, had a great time with it initially. It's just severely lacking content now, so I don't know if, let's say, by the end of this year, Halo Infinite's multiplayer is a far more refined experience. Is it going to be able to captivate players again to once again jump back into the game? Maybe it will be. At the end of the day, it's a free-to-play game that, yeah, you could drop money into it if you do want to get into the cosmetics and that side of the game, but it's a free-to-play game, and you can access the multiplayer options for free, and even the campaign that's available through Xbox Game Pass. So that I do weigh a little bit differently, but it'll be interesting to see how all of that plays out. As far as 2042 goes, yeah, not the best sign for that. But that's going to do it for me. Again, as far as Bethesda launcher goes, looks like the migration over to Steam is happening, and again, quite a few legacy titles will be making their way over to Steam in the near future. And Battlefield 2042, staggeringly low player count. Remember, it fell below 1,000, but then it jumped back over 1,000, but still, it's not a good sign for the longevity of the game. And at the end of the day, multiplayer games like this, longevity is everything, and you want to have a core player base that, you know, is committed to the game. And at this point, I don't know how long that's going to last unless some refinements are made. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate it if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.